This is an ABP Live Podcast.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm Aabir Lahiry of watching ABP Live Podcasts. Today in Cracking Conversation, I am in conversation with Mr. Bir Singh, who's the founder of Addverb. Welcome to ABP Live Podcast, firstly.
Thank you.
है क्या Addverb? What exactly is Addverb? I know that it's a mobile robotics company, but why come this name Addverb and what exactly the entire scene is?
No, so adverb basically similar to the normal English adverb.
Okay.
So we add intelligence to action. So that's the reason we keep the name of our company.
So
like
cool.
Adverb.
So cool. How did you guys start this?
So we started in 2016.
Okay.
So prior to starting Adverb, all of us, like all co-founders, we were working in Asian Paints. So we were part of Asian Paints project team, which used to build factories for Asian Paints.
Okay.
And believe me, Asian Paints factories are world's highly automated factories, and we were part of that team. And every time when we need to build new factory, we always used to go Europe and Japan for the supply of technologies.
Okay.
So we thought, why can't these technologies can be built in India? With this mission, we started this company.
Is Asian Paints still your client now? Your client
Asian
now?
Paints is our customer.
Wow.
Apart from this, when we started Adverb, we were 4 people. We started with consultancy.
Okay.
So we did consultancy in a lot of organization.
Okay.
And we realized we need to build a good team, strong team. So we raised our first round of money from Asian Paints owner.
ये बढ़िया जीवन है जहाँ से दुकानदारी स्टार्ट की वहीं को उसी को पहला कस्टमर बनाओ बहुत बढ़िया so cool but certainly the technology worked well for them. That is the reason I guess they guys hired you.
Yeah, that's the reason.
What is the entire scheme of things in the Indian context? Like people always say कि यार robots वहाँ से आते हैं robots specifically किसी भी machinery के part में अगर robots दिखते हैं but where exactly India stands now?
No, so normally if you frankly ask me in India, so wherever so whether it's process automation or factory automation, so if the business is doing all this stuff, they need to have some value in their business by putting up this automation. And most of the time this in all other countries like European countries etc., this value comes from how much amount of manpower you are able to save, because in Europe manpower cost is quite high. But in India the case is not so. But still, the kind of scale in which organizations or manufacturing units are operating nowadays, it makes a lot of sense. So, because in traditional warehouse, the biggest problem is human errors and the speed. They are quite slow. Nowadays, the way demands are changing, the way we are demanding, our customers are demanding, we need to be quite fast, we need less amount of error. And to solve all these problems, the best way is to have automation.
Achha, a lot of people confuse, not exactly confuse, they have a so-called perception कि यार robot वही होगा एक जो छोटा सा कार्टून सा दिखता हुआ आएगा, वो ऐसे हाथ उठाएगा, कुछ बोलेगा. But how exactly?
That is humanoid.
Okay.
And in our case, we work on 2 kind of robots. One is called mobile robots.
Okay.
And another one is articulated robots or cobots.
Okay.
So
please do explain me. I am a noob in this.
So mobile robots, it's a sort of a mobile device. When I say it's a sort of autonomous car running in a warehouse, right?
Okay.
So this autonomous car or this
it is not mobile. It is mobile. It can
mobile,
go. Okay.
Yeah. So,
it can go anywhere.
It's a automobile wala mobile.
Okay, ठीक है, समझ गया, ठीक है.
So they move in the warehouse like an autonomous car, and they do the task which we assign them.
यहाँ से ये उठाओ, वहाँ रखो, इसको ऊपर stack करो, इसको नीचे stack करो.
तो उठाने वाले काम can be done through articulated arms or through conveyors or through lifting arrangement. So all these attachments are fixed on robots so that they can do the task which we want.
Wow. So are you guys actually like a mechanical engineer or electronic engineer who are into that field, or you are the brain behind the entire technology?
No, so I'm a chemical engineer.
Oh my.
So out of 4 co-founders, 3 are chemical engineer and 1 is HR graduate, right?
Oh my.
But
so
you know, so robot is not a mechanical device. So robot is a device which has to be in which multidisciplinary engineering has to work.
Okay.
So mechanical engineers, then mechatronics, electronics, because there are a lot of embedded parts.
True.
And finally the software which will run this robot. So it's not a single.
So it's a giant team now?
Yeah, it's a big team. Huge
Okay.
team.
And where are you guys based out of Delhi?
We are based out of Noida.
Oh, so cool. How does this function here? I would love to see and visit your plant someday. How does this work? Do you have a plant or like it's entirely on
So
site?
we have 2 manufacturing locations.
Okay.
So we built our first manufacturing location in 2021.
Okay.
Right, during that time, that was India's largest manufacturing location for robot manufacturing.
Wow.
And recently we inaugurated another manufacturing location, which is sort of world largest manufacturing location for the robots.
India में, वो ही Noida में.
Correct. So we will be building around 60,000 robots per annum with the factory which we have built in phase 1. In phase 2, we'll almost increase the capacity by 40%. So it will be 100,000 robots per annum.
Oh, bhai sahab. You guys are like the chat GPT for the mechanical world. सब कुछ हो जाएगा automatically. अब बस command दे दो.
Yes.
But what all can a robot do? मतलब this is like a curious question because मैं हमेशा सोचता था क्या हो सकता है automate?
So in warehouse we can automate everything. So in warehouse, if you see like traditional
Even the sorting?
Yes. So एक गोदाम में there are 3-4 things which people
Happens,
do, and if we are able to improve it, then it's like anything.
ठीक है.
So first is we use warehouse for storage. So
Okay.
अभी जब भी हम स्टोरेज का बात करते हैं तो we talk about square feet of space, etc. Because we are storing everything on the ground.
Right.
But if we start utilizing the vertical space, the height, then we start talking in terms of cubic feet. So this can be only done through automation.
Okay.
Because if you automate, you can utilize more than 40 meter of the warehouse space.
Wow.
So you can
उतना जा सकता है.
you can increase the storage capacity by 10 to 15 times.
Agreed.
Correct. Then second is movement of material in the warehouse.
Okay.
Right. This is again quite important because you're involving something, then you're dispatching something as per customer demand, right? So there is a lot of movement in the warehouse.
Okay.
If you can automate that movement.
So how's it, like for example, if I take a random example of an Amazon warehouse, for example, there are things kept everywhere. Obviously there is a sorting mechanism in place, but there are things kept. So a robot will actually keep the things there, like the article there. It can pick it up, it can pack it, it can package it, everything.
So there are robots which will be used to transportation of material. Then there will be robots which will be storing the material in the warehouse.
Okay.
Then there will be robots which will be sorting the material based upon the destination.
Oh.
So all kind of tasks can be automated.
Wow. So cool. Is it only like you guys are only focused on the commercial aspect, or you guys create robots for the common man घर के लिए? वैसा नहीं है.
No,
it's
so
primarily B2B.
We are into B2B. We don't make robots for retail things.
झाड़ू पोछा उसके लिए अभी नहीं है. But future ऐसा कुछ?
So as of now, no. But there are other fields in which we want to enter.
Okay.
And we have start working towards that fields also. So one is airport. We believe that so most of the airports are at the prime location of the city.
True.
And that too, the real estate is quite high, and that real estate is all occupied by conveyors, etc. for the transportation of your baggage handling. So all these baggage handling conveyors we want to replace through robots. We are doing some pilots with some airports.
Wow.
Then second is hospital and hospitality.
Okay.
So in hospital also a lot of movement happens. Like just to give you example, so the job of nurse is to nurse the patient, but most of the time you will see her running here and there. Sometimes she is bringing
bandage,
then medicines and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
So all this kind of stuff can be done through robots, and nurse can focus more towards nursing a patient. So one nurse
so
which
cool.
is so this can be done. Then apart from this, we are building robots for rehabilitation and all these things, so that after stroke or during some problems, robot can assist patients in doing the routine task.
Okay. A lot of conversation has, I was following a couple of discussions before, a lot of conversation is going into what all can a robot do in future.
Yeah.
Do you think that it will actually be able to remove the human factor? Not in entirety, but then to
look
substantially?
So this is a debate which happens every time when you discuss about robot.
Right.
But we use robot for repetitive task, mundane task, or the task which human beings don't enjoy.
True.
Right. So if you see the sortation task, like what is this? Like you need to just pull up a envelope and sort it as per destination. It's a repetitive task. So right now all this menial work is being done by robots, right? So that human being can do actual intelligent work. So I don't think robots will be replacing human beings, but definitely in near future human beings, robots,
will work in tandem.
will be collaborating with each other, and the new possibilities will come through. So if you see our tagline there, it is human, robots, and possibilities. So
Human, robots and possibilities. So cool. I really want to know more about the airport thing you mentioned.
Correct.
A lot of airports in foreign countries have certainly implemented this. Like Singapore is a wonderful example. They have done some amazing work. Like in 7 to 10 minutes, you actually cross the immigration and everything, and you are just like there taking your flight. Do you think that happening in the Indian context? Because we have a not exactly a pro, but it's a con for us when we talk about the population at scale. It's a pretty big country to deal with that kind of a crowd, but I guess robot is the solution.
yeah, so when I say it's not a solution, but it will help. So what is happening, right? So right now, when you go to airport, right? If you don't submit your luggage in the check-in counter, you need to carry it. At the same time, nowadays airports are totally different place. You will see a lot of showrooms, you have a lot of time,
Right.
so you can do a lot of shopping,
Right,
also.
right.
Or you can dine it in a good places and all these things, but every
Yes,
time
yes.
you need to carry your luggage, right?
Yeah.
So if you can put your luggage on a robot which can follow you, and you can do your things in free, so it gives you a lot of comfort. It's a convenience to you,
Right.
right?
Or
So
maybe like a robotic cloakroom where you just like keep your luggage and you are just taking a
Correct.
massage in a spa in airport.
definitely.
So cool. I'm really happy to have this conversation because this sounds very interesting. Apart from warehouses, where all do you guys use your technology?
So our main focus is warehouses.
Okay.
Because you see, these are the area which are which need automation quite a lot.
Okay.
So in India, there
Not
is
plants and factories?
so plants, if you see from in the manufacturing side, right? So in the manufacturing side, automation started quite
Early, right. They are already automated.
so they are, because these are the key things. And warehouses not only in India, outside India also, in a lot of developed countries, these are the area where a lot of manual
Still,
work is happening.
till
Yeah,
date.
still it's happening. So that is the potential we realize.
Okay.
Then second thing is so there is a traditional way of automating, which will put a lot of fixed machine in the warehouse. So when you put a lot of fixed machine in the warehouse, that means your business has to run the way you thought of. But nowadays, what is happening?
You can't customize it.
Yeah, so you can't do
Change with time.
It's not flexible, right? So tomorrow, if your demand changes, right, you
You
cannot
have to
change it,
let
right?
go of the entire
But
infrastructure.
with robot, you actually bring flexible automation to work for you, right?
Okay.
So when I say flexible automation, that basically means tomorrow if your demand increases or there is a slowdown, right? So with robots, you can have all these flexibilities. Your area is clear. You have no fixed assets, so you can change everything the way your business is happening.
And when we talk about robot, like for example in a warehouse, how exactly it looks?
So
Because for me, robot is like
if I'll tell you, we have various kind of robots. So one robot look like a small vehicles. Then there is a robots which can do storage. So it will look like a lift running
ladder
here and
kind of a
there.
thing.
Then there are robots which runs on rails, right? So it is automated shuttles which runs on rails at a very fast speed.
Okay.
So there are all kind of robots.
Okay.
So but most of them are sort of vehicles running automatically based upon the task which we have given.
So cool. It's in Noida. I will surely visit it sometime because this sounds very fascinating to me at least. I don't know what exactly I'll infer from the plant or from the infrastructure there, but it sounds very
You
interesting.
definitely visit and you will be surprised that we guys are doing this work in Noida.
हाँ मतलब ये सुनने में एकदम shocking था कि wow.
In India there are companies there is a company like us who build robots.
And that too like world's biggest plant.
Yeah, and it's totally in-house.
Okay.
Right?
All the engineers are Indians?
Yeah, so the design team is in-house, the manufacturing is in-house, the software is in-house.
Wow.
Even the embedded part, like all the processors and controllers, we print in-house.
Wow. And how did you guys get the technology? Like you learned it from a different country, you got some experts from there, or it was already made in India and everything?
No, so it's all a journey. We started with 4 people. We did consultancy. Then we thought we build a good team, and good team build a good product for us. So this way, and it's a continuous process. So I can say we have a very good team with all the streams which I mentioned, and these people are building this product, right? And when we see robot as a more of a software product,
Right.
And in software, as Indians, we don't need to prove the world.
Agreed. We are the Bab of software.
Yes, correct. So that's the reason, our products are quite good, and we are not selling these products only in India.
Okay.
So we are selling it outside also. So it's like Make in India for the world.
So cool. Thank you very much for having this conversation on ABP Live Podcast. It was really interesting to know the backstory of robots and how exactly it functions in the B2B space. And looking forward to some amazing developments and innovations from you guys in the future.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much.
you.
Thank you.
And that was a new episode of Cracking Conversation on ABP Live Podcast. Thank you.